Welcome to lecture number 4. In this section, we're going to be talking about how to build credit. So when it comes to building credit, the most important thing to remember is that you must make sure you pay back any financial obligations tied to your name. And so this includes things like any kind of school fees, transcript fees, cell phone bills, any kind of fines, and utility bills. And so, as we talked about in lecture 1, your financial profile and your credit history is directly tied to your social security number. And so, in most of the times for any kind of application, your social security number is listed. So for example, if you go to AT&T and say, hey, I want to open up a phone plan, one of the first things that they ask for is your name, social, and address. And so if you decided for whatever reason, I'm not going to pay any kind of past due amount on my cell phone bill, then AT&T has the option to send your delinquent and late payment history to the credit reporting agencies. And next thing you know, your credit report is going to show that you have late payments with AT&T, and this is going to significantly bring down your credit score. And so anytime you have a financial obligation, it doesn't matter what it is, school fees, medical bills, make sure that you pay it back or you work with the institution to set up a payment arrangement to pay back whatever you may owe. Don't ignore any financial obligation. Okay, even if it's $50, $75, even if you think that the bill is wrong, don't ignore it. Call the institution back and just say, hey, I received a bill. I paid that last week. Can we please make sure that this is corrected? Or maybe you call and you say, hey, I don't really have the money right now to pay back the amount. Can we work out a payment plan? As long as you call and work out something, the institution won't send any kind of late payments or delinquencies to the credit reporting agencies. So it's really important. Do not ignore any financial obligation tied to your name. And as mentioned, any kind of outstanding bill can be sent to a collection agency. And usually accounts go to collection when multiple attempts have been made to try to rectify the bill and nothing has been processed. So if, let's say you have a past due amount with AT&T and they send, 5 bills to your house to try to get the bill to be paid, and there's no attempt or contact to try to rectify the amount due, then AT&T is going to say, okay, let's go ahead and send this account to collections. And if the account goes to collections, that is usually very, very bad for your credit. You can have a 700 credit score, and then an account shows up in collections, and your credit score can drop to like 500. So it's really important. Any kind of bill that's outstanding, make sure you pay it back or you work with the institution to set up a payment arrangement. Okay, so here we have a real life medical bill example. Okay, so let's say you receive a medical bill in the mail, and let's say you're like, man, I don't really have $234 right now to pay back this bill. And so one option you can have is just say, you know what, forget about it. It's a small amount. It is what it is. If you go that route, as we talked about, eventually this amount is going to show up on your credit in collections which will be very bad for your credit score. Okay, the the best route is, if you can't afford the amount due, is to contact the institution and work out a payment plan. And as you can see from this institution, they actually offer the option to set up a payment plan to pay back the amount due. So this person owes $234.47, but it also says here affordable payment plans available. And so this person can pay back $39.07 over 6 months to pay back this amount. And so once this person sets up the payment plan, this institution is not going to send anything to collections or report anything late to the credit reporting agencies. And so some medical bills don't have the option listed to set up a payment plan or a payment arrangement, but most institutions, if you just call them and just say, hey, can I please set up a payment plan for the amount due? If you say that, they will work with you to set something up. And so never ignore any financial obligation that you have. Always call and set it up, or just read the bill entirely and see if they have an option for you to set up a payment arrangement. So how do you build credit? The simplest way to build credit is never ignore any financial obligations. And for any liabilities you have, so credit cards, student loans, car loans, whatever it may be, make sure that you pay back your monthly payments on time. If the monthly payment is due on the 15th, make your payment on the 15th. And lastly, do not take out too much debt. Okay? You know, every time you go to TJ Maxx and, Marshalls and Target and stuff like that, they're always offering you a credit card. Okay? My advice is maybe have 1 or 2 credit cards that you can manage, and maintain a very small balance. And anytime that you use it, make sure you have the funds to pay back what you owe. Okay? Never take out too much debt, because if you have too many credit cards and too many loans, this brings down your credit score, because it tells lenders and institutions that this person is a heavy debt user. And so that is considered very risky. And so my advice is have 1 or 2 credit cards with a small balance that you can maintain. And every time you use it, you pay it back. And every time you pay it back, it gets reported to the agencies that this person has made an on-time payment, and this increases your credit score.